Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Star Trek Lower Decks Episode 2. We're like super behind, but there's really nothing. Even like Bleeding Cool did an article saying they're kind of done with this show.
Yeah.
Bleeding Cool. The left wing, super. They love everything Marvel does, every new Trek thing. They love diversity and representation. They're sick of this show.
And they're saying in the nicest way possible, but still, it's like, yeah, this is done. They want it over with. This show needs to die. It's
yeah,
terrible.
and we're like, was it up to episode 6 or something?
Yeah,
7?
that's
And we're at 2.
Yeah.
And Kayshon with his eyes open is the name of the episode. And it's just, there's a couple of parts where it's like, okay, maybe they're going to show Mariner being wrong, but it's kind of like a communal saying I'm wrong, so she's not wrong.
She can never be wrong.
She can never just be 100% wrong.
No. It's gotta be quasi, kind of, maybe, sort of.
Then they just talk crap about the other Trek series.
Yeah, they talk Next Generation.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
you have guys talking major crap about the Enterprise D. You mean them fighting the Borg and saving the universe and being the most decorated flagship in the history of things? Yeah, they're at string quartets. Oh, what? Because in Trek time, we do more than just want to fight. And these guys are, yeah, let's just fight all the time. When did we de-evolve?
But the thing is, it's so weird about this. I know, right? We're supposed to be better than that as humans at this time. These people hate Star Trek.
Yeah, they hate Trek.
They hate Trek. You have to not. They hate it, and now it's a revenge time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my dad and my older brother watched this stupid show. Oh, I bet they don't like it now.
Yeah, I don't like this. You're right about that.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So, when you open up the episode with them all walking around in towels, like in the hallway, I'm like, did they just like leave the swimming or something? No, they're on their way to take showers, so everyone just showers together on the ship.
Sonic showers.
Males and females all shower together.
The Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that's Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Well, I know a funny little factoid about that scene. In Starship Troopers, I forget what actress said she didn't want to do the scene.
Oh, God.
She goes, well, if I'm going to do the scene, you're going to be naked too. So the director shot the scene naked. So everyone was naked.
That is actually funny.
So she's like,
it actually made me laugh.
Like,
See,
well,
that's funny.
If you want to do this scene where everyone's naked, you have to be naked too, and he was.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Anyways, so remember that one black dude that was kind of like the cool, handsome black guy? I guess he got transferred to her shift.
Yeah.
So now he's like, oh, he took Boinger's place.
Mm-hmm.
So they all get the shower together. There's no nudity because anyone who knows Trek knows they use sonic showers. So like it's like sound waves, so you don't actually get wet. So the sound waves distort, but yeah, they're all naked.
Yeah.
So if you kind of want to almost see Mariner naked, this is it.
It's kind of crazy. They wouldn't do this. This is ridiculous.
So they're all taking the showers, and then like Mariner keeps bringing up Boinger because he's taking a sonic shower next to her, the new guy, and he's like, "Oh no, Boinger leaves that space open because he's like, well, he's not here. Why do you care?"
Exactly. I kind of agree with this guy a lot.
Yeah, this guy, the whole time of the episode, I like this guy a lot better.
Yeah.
Then she's like, oh yeah, well, you like it? Well, I turn it up a little bit. So it turns up to the point where it's actually like hurting people.
Yeah. And then, by the way, one panel affects the whole thing, which is weird. Wouldn't they all be
That'd be like
individual?
if we had a place and there were showers, and I turned mine to extra hot. I wouldn't turn yours extra hot.
In another shower, it doesn't make any sense.
So then he's like, oh yeah, I like it even higher. And they keep turning it higher and higher. And
their nose start bleeding.
Because it's like sound, like...
Yeah.
But would it do that?
I don't. It's stupid. It's dumb.
What?
This is just a stupid opener.
So if
it's
you
so
if you are a big fan of almost nudity,
yeah,
here you go. I'm sure Gene Roddenberry loves it.
Oh, I know, right?
Then we get the opener or whatever. Then we get to the mission. I guess that guy that tried to collect data.
These people, the collectors.
These people. So one of them, he died, and then I guess by their rules, the next in line for him gets his collection, and then he has to auction it off.
Yeah.
But this guy's like, hey, I don't know if there's anything dangerous in there, so I'm going to start for you guys can scan it, categorize it, and anything super dangerous you guys can take. Okay, that seems like but this guy kind of has a New York accent. Well, I don't trust you, Starfleet guys, and it's like...
Why is he talking like that? Can he just talk like an alien? Why does he have to be...
Yeah, he's like a Brooklyn guy from
That's so stupid.
It's really weird.
And he's totally alien, by the way. He's not human. So.
Yeah, he has like 4 arms and everything. Then this is where they kind of start making fun of the other series. And then he's like, okay, we're waiting for your team to come over. It's like, wasn't that guy who tried to collect data they all try to collect data. Then, like, remember the guy who's like their literal therapist, and he's dressed like a therapist.
Yeah, like something would work today.
There's a real stupid reason why there's bird people in this, because like during like the interviews, someone thought, why aren't there sexy bird people? And the creator thought that was really cool, so that's why this guy's.
Well, there actually are bird aliens in Star Trek, but they don't. They're idiots.
So, he's like, why couldn't they leave Data alone? He just wanted to feel. There was more to Data than that. He wanted to understand what it was to be human. Yeah. And if you watch, the only good thing about Picard is
that last scene with
Data's death was beautiful, truly. So they just poo all over crap all over.
They even crapped over Picard at the end. Oddly enough, on that scene, they did. Ridiculous.
So then I guess they have the new head of security, and they get this wrong too. They get everything wrong. Yeah. This race speaks in parables and metaphors. Like in metaphors, and like, let's say, oh, are you ready to go? Well, does the ocean run through the valley of this? And that means yes, I'm ready. Yeah. But that's just how they talk. So he comes up and he says, he says something and no one understands what he's talking about. And then he goes, oh, the universal translator isn't working. It's not a translation problem. No. He's literally saying those words. Yeah. It's not a translation.
No, it's different.
That's stupid.
Because then that were the case, then Picard understood Daymok in that episode then right away. If it was translation, it has nothing to do with that.
It's just how they speak.
Yeah. It's a difference.
Get things right.
They can't.
God, get things right.
But they act like they're so smart that they get things right. That's what gets me.
But here's the thing. They wouldn't have put this alien race in this series if it wasn't for that episode. No. Everything about Lower Decks is like, do you remember when? Do you recall when?
I know.
So they should have watched that episode and then realized, oh, that's just how they talk. Yeah. It's not a translator thing.
Exactly.
But he does mention that later on. He's like, oh, I've been trying to work on my Starfleet Basic, like, and try not to use metaphors.
He's the only one that you could say is maybe mildly funny, and I put that in quotation marks.
So they get done with their showers and they're walking, and Mariner's having a pissing contest with this guy because this guy's. She's like, oh, I need to cut loose, whatever. And he's like, we're on mission now, Mariner. Afterwards, we can have fun. But right now, we're being called to a away team. Yeah. Stop being, you just do a kiss up. And he's like, what the hell's going on? Like, Mariner, what the hell are you acting like
He's acting like an ensign. You're acting like an idiot.
And he's like, well, Bornir would never do that. Well, he's not here, Mariner. Oh, yeah, he's on the Titan having tons of fun. And every time they say that, it's always him screaming.
Yeah.
So he's at the helm. And I guess was he navigator?
He's navigator. Helm's
so they do is like, oh, let's do a attack, alpha, beta, or whatever, and show these guys. Everything is a music metaphor.
I know. Why?
Everything. Every time Riker talks, it's a music metaphor. Here's the thing. I would love for someone to have never watched any Trek and just loves Lower Decks. This Riker guy seems cool. I'm going to watch that Next Generation and realize he never spoke this way. He never talks
Especially not on the bridge during a battle.
So I would just love to see the disappointment in this person's face to see how Riker doesn't act anything like this.
That's why it's stupid.
So, then they're blowing up they're fighting.
Well, they're fighting the Pakleds again. Like, Pakleds seem to be like the main bad guys in this series.
So they do this thing and they run away and they win and everyone's like, yeah, but they're like chest bumping on the bridge.
They wouldn't do that.
Then and there's Boeing and they're literally having a panic attack. Yeah. Like, he's not going to survive this ship. Like, he's going to have like a mental breakdown because he's in a panic mode and everyone else is like, that was awesome. Wow. They're like, meatheads, yeah, high fives.
He's ever his first officer. I like him. He never says a word. I want him if he ever talks.
So we get down and they're getting ready for their away mission on the Cerritos. And then, of course, he's speaking in parables again. And then no one understands it but the other guy. He gets it because I guess he knows like their language. Yeah. And he's like, oh, thank you. Oh, and they kind of like, kind of getting along.
And then Mariner goes, oh, you're a suck up. Oh, okay, Mariner.
He's just trying to get along with the guy who's running the head of security. But he can't. Oh, only Mariner can befriend people. Remember when she was befriending that Ferengi or whatever, and she knew him from before? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just sucking up to him, Mariner. Would you appreciate that?
Of course not. She doesn't care.
She's such a bitch.
Oh, big time. Ugh.
So they get to the ship, and that one guy's there. He's like, okay, guys, use that's the way he talks like that. Basically. But he's all, well, it took you guys so long. And he's like, well, you guys doing this? And he's like, well, no, I don't think so. But he said a metaphor, but he took it as like being like literal. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Basically, what he told him was just busting his balls. He's like, okay, I need you guys to scan all this stuff, but I don't want you guys getting sticky fingers and stealing stuff. Like, yeah, the Federation. No, it's funny. Maybe the Federation does steal things.
Yeah.
The way that Lower Decks, how they operate, maybe they do things like that.
Mariner would do that. And of course, she messes with that game piece. That's from the episode of Next Generation
Yeah.
where they get you addicted.
Do you remember when?
Yeah.
That's this whole entire show.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
But it's made for people who've never watched Trek. So they're not going to get any of these references.
It's stupid. Like, it's weird. It's made for the newbies, but also do these references to hardcore fans, and it's like they're not going to get that, so they're not going to know.
But if you're a hardcore fan, I don't know every star date, and I don't walk around in a Starfleet uniform, but I am a big fan of Trek, and all this pulling yourself away from it and making fun of it irritates the hell out of me. So I don't know what this is all about.
I have no idea.
So are the references for me?
Yeah, but
I hate everything else that's happening.
It's ridiculous.
So we get to the Titan, and then they're talking about like, the Paklins have been attacking in patterns. They've been looking for this mineral ore, and then they're in the war room and they're talking about stuff, and it feels like a regular Trek
I
thing.
like this. I want more of this.
It's a little too actiony.
But at least they're talking the way Star Trek would talk.
So then Brad's trying to like write everything down, and he's like going through all these data pads, and they're like, oh, what a nerd. And it's funny because everyone's saying Brad's writing it down. And then like even like Riker's like, you don't need to write that down. And then he's like, I don't need to write this down.
No,
He's still writing it.
Because he goes, what we're going to do is we got to the Paklin mining colony, and then we'll put a tracking device on them so we'll be able to see where they're going.
Yeah, we'll pose as miners.
See, this is Star Trek stuff. I want this. Why can't we get all this in the show?
Yeah, but then there's more music references.
I know. The music references at the end are stupid.
And he even did a couple in here.
I know.
I'll see how well they play when they don't have they're not, okay, whatever. But they're trying to get this mineral ore because it can be like turned into like a weapon.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try to use that like for terrorist
And that might
attacks.
be more aggressive. We can't have them do that.
Yeah, so okay, that seems like a real mission.
Yeah.
Get back to the collectors thing. So they're walking around and they're scanning stuff, and it just seems kind of boring. But then one guy looks over at Rutherford. He's like, "Oh wow, you kind of like a cybernetic implant." It's like, "Oh yeah, there's only so many of us in the Starfleet." And he's like, "Oh really?" He's like, "Oh, he's gonna try to collect you."
I think even Mariner says he's trying to collect you, dude.
And he's like, "Here's my card. If you ever feel like I got a really nice ship, oh yeah, I want to live on your ship in a little thing."
Exactly, ridiculous.
So then Tindy starts talking to the. It's like, "Oh wow, is that him? He must have been here all alone. He must have been lonely." He's like, "Well, maybe like being lonely." I'm like, oh, that's kind of like poignant or whatever. Maybe you just like being alone. Yeah. But of course he says it in his funny way that he talks. Then he has Kalis as his fornication helmet. So Kalis had an effing helmet.
That's so dumb. What an insult.
What a nice little thing about maybe being with all your collection and being lonely. But maybe for some people that isn't lonely. They like being around their collections.
How sad is that though?
See, that's like a little poignant thing. Yeah. Then fornication helmet.
Why? They say, like I said, this episode has one little kernel good thing, and then it turns into crap in the next scene. Every time.
His fornication helmet.
Guys,
so that's canon that Kalis had a fornication helmet.
I'm not going to remember that. I remember Kalis' sword, and that was a good episode. Not this. This is ridiculous. On Deep Space Nine.
Oh, my goodness.
That's ridiculous.
So, then Mariner's, like, pretending to be a statue, like, being silly, and then I totally forgot the other guy's name. It's like, yeah, Mariner, that's really great. Let's get back to work. Well, why don't you loosen up? It's like, yeah, Mariner, good idea. I'm carrying munitions. Why don't I just loosen up? Yeah, so he's like talking crap. They're like, yeah, you dumb freaking idiot.
I know, you're being stupid. Just fucking. I mean, it seems like this guy is like for us fans, like he's speaking, like we're speaking through him, saying, Mariner, wise up. My goodness, we're working right now.
So, was it? I don't know who tripped this. Like. There's like a hologram pops up. Oh, you're in my ship and you must be stealing my things. And if you're seeing this, I'm dead and now you're going to become part of my collection. So like, oh, you must have touched something. But I think it just went off.
It just went off.
I don't think it was anyone's fault. So it's like, you're be part of my collection now. It shoots a laser beam and our new security officer pushes Tindy out of the way.
It is a heroic thing, yeah.
Hits him and like turns him into like a little like doll, like a plushie. Mm-hmm. Has that ever happened in Trek? No, someone turned into a literal like doll, like a toy.
No. That's never happened.
Why? How could that beam do that?
I don't know. Then he says to Mariner, and Mariner says, "Oh, okay, we know." Well, Mariner, he's freaking could be dying. He doesn't know what's happening to him. Jeez.
So yeah, he turns into a little puppet, and then Mariner starts like just complaining again. Your head security chief could be dead. You don't know if this killed him or not, and you're still like just being that's like.
She doesn't.
Like,
she doesn't care.
Like this isn't a holodeck simulation. No. Why are you acting this way?
She doesn't care. She just doesn't care.
So like things start. So basically, the whole collection's attacking them. So it's trying to kill them, and they're kind of fighting their way out. And so when the action starts, that's when Mariner kind of like, okay, she's fighting off some of the stuff, and she's a little bit.
But a little bit better. But the one thing I do like about the scene, he tries to call the ship. Oh, like we can't get our communications through. Thank you.
Just that. That's
Just
all
that.
it takes.
Just a little thing like that.
So they both go for the doll to save it, which is good. But then they start fighting over like little kids pulling
Guys,
both ends.
there's things attacking you. Get out of
One,
there.
you have things are attacking you. Two, what if you like ripped its arms off?
Yeah.
No, I'll save them. No, I'll save them like little babies.
It's so dumb.
So they barely make it out of the room, and then they're like, "Oh, we have to get out of here." So they're like, then Rutherford goes up to the things like, "Man, there's nothing but just gallery after gallery, and every one room we're gonna go into is gonna try to kill us."
Yeah.
Mariner goes, "Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna work our way to the engine room, cut off the batteries, it'll shut off the security system." And then she's like having her big speech, and then the other guy's like, "No, that's a stupid plan. Here, we go through less rooms, then there's escape pods that we can get out of here." "Oh, don't cut me off. Not even Brad. We're not even Boing would do that." "Well, he's not here. Get over it." And
my God, you love the guy. Just admit it. You're in love with the guy. You care about him.
I think she just likes all over him. Because I don't think she wants to date him.
It's so weird.
It's funny. I think she would have sex with him, but I don't think she would ever want to be like, "Oh, we're not a thing."
But the thing is, Brad would want to be a thing at that point.
Yeah, because he'd like fall in love with her.
Yeah.
And she would just be like, "Let's just be a side flings."
Yeah.
You know, after a shift, we just have sex.
Yeah.
I think she would be perfectly fine with that relationship. But Brad would fall in love because
he's a good guy.
He's a decent human being.
Yeah.
So they all go along with the new guy's plan, and they're like, "Oh, let's take a vote." That's not how this works.
No.
Because the head security's out. I guess it would be Mariner because she would have seniority over the other guy because she's been there longer on this shift. But she's just being this like, he's like, "Hey, your plan is dangerous. We have to do what is the safest route to get this off the ship."
The only one that would want to do a vote is the alien because he's not Starfleet.
Yeah.
So let's do this his idea. But everyone else should be like, no.
For chain of command.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you're just trying to make yourself look cool." No, because I don't care about saving my crew members. I just want to look cool. That's you, Mariner.
Yeah.
So we get to the away mission from the Titan, and then one of these guys is straight up a clone trooper.
Yeah.
He even talks like Rex. He has the
I wonder
voice.
if that's why they did
He
it.
even looks like a clone trooper. He even has like the darker tan skin.
Maybe he is.
I think it's a nod to Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Then this is where they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go down there. Too bad Riker came with this badass like Riker would want to be here. Unlike when he was on the Enterprise. Yeah, that place was stupid. You know, they had a bunch of daycare centers and they had a string quartet. What a bunch of losers."
And then Brad's like, "Wait a minute, no, they fought the Borg.
They've gone to other dimensions.
What are you talking about?"
Oh yeah, and they also did this. And they're all like laughing at the Enterprise.
No, that's the creators laughing at Star Trek.
Yeah, laughing. Yeah, the Enterprise D, the literally crown jewel of the Federation.
Yep.
That's like the real Enterprise in World War II. All the great, amazing things that ship did.
Yeah.
You guys are all idiots.
Enterprise D's legendary. Enterprise D's legendary. The Kirk's Enterprise is legendary. What are you talking about? You're just crapping all over it.
It's just so for the fans who love Trek, do you agree with this? Do you agree with the Enterprise was lame?
And you can tell the way they're saying it, they're being serious.
Yeah.
This is to say, "Hey, look how stupid Star Trek is." That's what they're saying, guys.
These guys look like they would be Section 31.
Yes.
Not Starfleet.
They say
officers.
Starfleet things, but how they do things is very covert,
Just want
very
to go
forceful.
kick ass.
Yeah, that's not what Star Trek's about.
So we get back to the Cerritos, and then they're just sitting there, and then Rams is like, "Hey, Captain, you haven't checked in with the away team, the crew." He goes, "By now you would have done it like 5 times, and haven't even done it once. Do you think I micromanage?" And everyone's like, "Well, my latest report said that I micromanage, and I need to trust my team more, so I'm not going to contact them."
Why is she telling her subordinates that? That just shows weak leadership. Don't tell them your weaknesses. You're the captain.
So what a convenient thing for them not to be contacting them.
I know, so dumb. Stupid. That doesn't explain it. That makes it stupid.
Here's the thing. If in order to solve this problem, it would have been better. Okay, when we get on the ship, we can't touch any of the artifacts unless the shields are up. Yeah. And if the shields are up, that means there's going to be no communications. So
explains it.
I just thought of that just right now.
They can't explain things, Mike.
They want to bring up this stupid thing in her last performance review.
See, don't explain something that makes it stupid. Explain it that makes it smart. That's the thing, and they're not.
So basically, they're being attacked by a whole bunch of different things in this room, and like, you know, it starts to suck up things like a big like cruncher thing. So it's just a bunch of like mindless, stupid action.
And then the alien says, "Well, I'm out of here," and that's what he would do. He would save himself. That does make sense.
Yeah, he just skipped to the next room, and then there's a room with a bunch of like dinosaur bones and stuff. Then there's like a giant Spock, and that's from the original cartoon.
The original cartoon, yes, they made a giant Spock. So I guess he died.
So there you go. There's another reference for the hardcore fans, because that's super hardcore.
Yeah, it is. Because I only watched the cartoon one time, and I remember.
Yeah, I've watched Next Generation like a dozen times.
Yeah, but the cartoon, most people haven't never watched
seen
it.
Or just seen it one time.
Yeah.
So, what a funny reference. Remember that?
I know.
This should be called Star Trek Remember That. Because that's everything in the show.
I know. It's almost as bad as when Family Guy, well, you think that's bad. What about this? You
Remember
know
that one time you did this with X in this place?
All the time. All the time.
So there's all these bones, and they're, like, still, like, bitching about who's the leader, and, we don't like your plan, and, if it wasn't for you, then that one guy's like, you know what, the alien's like, screw you guys, I'm getting out of here, and like, whoa, stop moving, this is like a laser trap,
Yeah.
I ain't listening to you, I know what I'm doing, and then those bones fall on him, so
And
Spock
and you see the big skeleton head, like, whoa.
So he's dead, Spock's skeleton killed him.
Yep.
So then they have to climb over it, and then that's when Mariner's like, oh, good thing we listened to your plan. Then the other guy's like, listen, Mariner, there's unknowns in every plan.
Yeah.
Your plan would have took us through more rooms, so more things could have happened. We have to do what's safe. Because you want to do that other plan doesn't mean they want to do that plan.
I agree with this guy. I'm totally
Because you have a death wish, Mariner, doesn't mean that they do.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just playing a goody tissue because you just want to rank up.
Yeah, you don't even think about them.
You don't care about their safety.
It's like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, Mariner, you're so out of line. When we get back, we're having a real discussion with the captain after this. Because you just told me I didn't care about my crew members.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking pissed off if someone said that about me. But yeah, then like during her little bitch fest, one of the little scanner robots like bumps into her. Get away from me, vacuum. She calls it a vacuum because it looks like a Roomba.
Yeah.
Why the flying F would she know what a Roomba was?
She wanted to know. That's 2021. She's, what are you going to suck on me? And literally, that's what it does.
Oh, it's going to suck us to death. Like it was like sucking on her face. Yeah. So these things are going to like suck their bodies.
Why don't it look like if anything would have like laser beams on it or something? Why would it have
No, it's going to suck on them.
It's flying.
I'm surprised it didn't suck on one of their wieners or something. I'm surprised that didn't happen. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
I don't know.
It's not funny. Because it's so insane. I couldn't surprise anymore.
God. So they get like, they hide like in the rib cage, like the bone, so they can like stay away from these things. So they keep bitching about the plan and this and that and everything. And they come to this funny conclusion of like, well, my plan would have been bad and your plan's bad. Well, how about none of us are the leader? And we ask Tindy and Roofer what they want to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to ask us? Well, yeah. Then like, wait a second. These bones can actually be used because when they break down, they can turn acidic.
Yeah, really acidic, yeah.
And we can use that to break through because there's bones of some alien. Yeah. And that can break through the metal. We can cut through the doors.
Star Trek answers.
See, but in Trek, everyone has to say something.
Yeah, you can say something. You don't have to keep quiet.
Because they're butting heads so much, I guess they were afraid to say something.
But you know the
answer. But that's a today problem in today's world, not in Trek time.
No, not Starfleet officers.
So, like, okay, that's interesting that they're going to, like... So, when Mariner was wrong, but she kind of agreed that she's wrong, so she's not wrong.
No, she's never 100% wrong. It's kind of wrong.
So we get to the other away mission. They're pretending to be miners. And then Brad's talking to their miner. Oh, whoa, come on, miner, brother. And the guy's like, I know you're Starfleet.
Yeah, I know you are.
Well, your hands are soft and everything.
Soft. Yeah, you're not no miner. Your hands are dirty.
So then they're like, okay, good. This is our time to like break into that thing. But they see another guard. Oh, we have to take him out. And Brad's like, we're supposed to avoid all contact. We can just sneak around. Can't take any chances. So she goes to shoot him, and it's just a pile of like cheese balls. Literally, they look like cheese puffs.
Yes, I understand it's a Packlet mining thing, but even they wouldn't do anything.
Hey, you're trying to steal our snacks. And then they start a big old fight.
Yeah.
So if they would have just listened to Brad, they would have skipped that whole thing.
I know.
Because they noticed the guard wasn't moving.
So stupid.
Whatever. So we get back to the to them, and they break the bones down and everything, and they like it's funny. It's like old school where they have to like rub them like that. It's so dumb.
That's probably a reference to a Voyager episode.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So then we get back to Brad. They're a big old firefight and everything. They get behind like this room. They shut the doors, but they're starting to cut the door open. Mm-hmm. They contact the Titan, and Titan's like, okay, we can't get transport locked because there's all kinds of interference in that room. But then they're like, okay, we're all gonna go out like fighting, and then Brad's like, dude, I don't want to die here. Yeah. I joined Starfleet because I wanted to go on missions and explore. And then the other people like, yeah, I joined Starfleet because I wanted to like study other things, and he just kind of
like animals or some kind of like mothballs or something like that.
And they're like doing all this. There's like they all joined Starfleet to do science and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But they all kind of I don't know what they're trying to say.
They prize it, then they talk crap again.
Yeah. So, but then then Brad realizes, hey, maybe I can like.
Because he's talking about the situation of the two rockets. Oh, wait a minute, it's the same situation. I can beam you guys out of here.
Yeah, if I can reverse this engine and thing or push out the field instead of sucking it in. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, scientific answer. So we get back to the not Cerritos, but that collector ship. Oh. They break through the wall, and then Roofer's like, oh, we're going to the escape pods. if that's still the plan. And then Mariner's like, well, if you think it's the best idea, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So then they kind of have like their making up session. But it's like, guys, just get the hell out of here first.
Yeah, who cares about all that?
So they're gunning on their skate pods and they get out.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, oh, you still haven't checked on the away team captain. Oh, they'll be fine. Well, 2 skate pods just left the collector ship. Then they're like, contact them. And then you see Tindy and Riververse like, what the hell's going on? Well, she's like, where's the security officer? Well, he got turned into a puppet. And she's like, this is what I get when I don't contact my team. Never again. I want to keep contacting them all the time.
But why'd you have to? It's in such a stupid way, though.
Back to the other away team. They're trying to get lock on, but they can't. Brad's able to activate that thing. They get everyone else off there but him.
Yeah.
But
they end up blowing the machine up.
But it's actually kind of like a badass, like, and he gets blown away. Yeah. He gets caught under something, and he's about to be killed by the
well, they're going to axe him, yeah.
Then they're kind of getting the phase lock on him, and of course he has to be screaming during the phase.
Yeah.
During
and she goes, oh, wait a minute, Captain, we can't give him the name beam, so that's a secondary beam to pull him out.
And then Riker's like, that's not an option. You have to get him out of there. That's real trick dialogue.
I want more of this.
Oh, so you can play my jazz band.
I know. Then he says something jazzy again at the end.
So they get him out of there. Then I'm like, oh, God, they brought up the clone thing. So I'm like, he's a clone.
Yep.
I know for a fact he's a clone. Then they see a shuttle leave the planet. Who's that? And it's Brad again. So there's 2 Brads now.
So the thing is, so how did he escape? That doesn't make any sense. He would have been killed.
So then he's like, oh, man, I got a clone. And
Riker's, I know a thing about that.
Hey, that kind of reminds me of something. Ha for the Brads. And then he gives him a big hug. Like Riker would forget that happened to him.
Yeah, he wouldn't forget that Thomas Riker's in a Cardassian prison right now, rotting right now, okay? You forget about that. Ridiculous.
But he's like all smiles and giggling like it's the funniest little thing ever.
No, I'd be like, you know what? I went through this. We're going to work with this, guys. I know it seems bad now. He'd be more like that. He wouldn't be like, that's great, guys.
So they get to his room. You know, like Riker would always like, not always strike a pose, but here he's always like posing.
Like he's ridiculous.
So he's like, hey, Starfleet says it'd be too confusing to have 2 identical people on a ship.
Not really.
No, it would have been better. Instead of this being a stupid joke, it should have been like, well, Captain, if you don't mind, can I transfer back to the Cerritos?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Titan isn't the best fit for me anymore. And the Cerritos, we did more exploring, and that's more of my interest. That would have been a better ending to this.
Well, what's so weird is he'd still be a lieutenant though. He wouldn't get demoted.
Oh, one of you has to go back to Cerritos and he go back to being an ensign.
That would never.
Why would he get? He
didn't get demoted. He saved the transport. If anything, he'd get a commendation. It's so weird.
It's so he can be with Mariner again.
Yeah, of course.
So stupid.
He didn't mess up.
So then they do this funny thing. It was like, well, one of you has to go back.
And one says forward, another
they both look at each other and nod, and then only one of the Brad steps forward. He's like, oh, I volunteer, sir. Then
no,
he's
hey,
like,
I thought you were going to step forward too, and we're going to say, no, you can go. I can stay here.
Yeah, because they thought they would both do it.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, no, then I guess the clone stayed by him. We don't even know who really went.
The funny thing is, there's one little funny joke. Riker goes, bratwurst. He calls him something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't call him he doesn't call him.
That was mildly funny because it's so stupid.
Doesn't call him Bollinger. He calls him like Bushwinder
or something.
Then the guy's like, yeah, I think Brad's a stupid name. I'm thinking a different name. How about William? I love it.
So stupid.
Oh, computer, play some this one song. It's not a jazzy song.
No, that's Songbird.
Yeah.
That's an old jazz ditty. And I get some on my nail. And the other Brad's like, what the heck? And he just leaves.
He's like Riker's best friend. I guess because he had a clone.
Yeah. That'll be funny in later episodes. He becomes like a captain. And he's like, I'm still an
Yeah, that other Brad becomes like all the way up there.
Up there, what the heck?
Then the other 3 people go, they call him Enterprise because he loves Enterprise. They're like, you did really good there. You saved us.
Yeah, thank you.
Go boldly and do all that. That thing. Then he leaves like, oh man, I'm gonna miss him. His clone's gonna be here, so we're gonna see him every day. Oh yeah, and they just every time there was something decent, they had to like on it. They had to knock its legs out.
That's why this makes this episode a 2. Seriously, it's pathetic.
Get back to the security officer. He's still a doll, and they put a little sign on him. Don't play with him. He's really a Starfleet officer. And she's like, this is the first time I dealt with someone turning into a doll. He'll be fine in a few hours.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
The one guy tries to play with them, the stupid...
I want to use him as for puppet therapy. She's like, no.
You couldn't just go and just replicate a puppet?
I know.
Oh, there's enough yellow cartridges for the bananas?
Weren't there when they said that he should never got this show? It's ridiculous.
So then you have... then they're all eating and everything. And this is a stupid joke. And Rutherford's like, hey, you got a new pip. You gave you a comment. Oh, no, it's just a piece of corn that he was eating.
Why would that be on this?
He's eating street corn because that's a popular thing today. I'm Mexican, we're Hispanic, whatever people are calling us nowadays. Yes, street corn's delicious. But I don't ever think that of something in Trek. Because it's kind of messy. And then you have like the sauces and everything you put on there. What's the weird thing with them eating tacos? And
I don't know. It's weird.
It's so weird.
Spaghetti and like hamburgers. I'm sure they do, but it's
it just seems weird.
That'd be like if they had like a culture day, like on the Enterprise or like a Starship, and then they can bring their own foods from like their cultures. I could see that, but like being at
they're over too. Because last time they had tacos.
Yeah.
And now they're having street corn. One with tamales and sopa. Like, what else are they gonna have? Some Mexican food all that.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones. Some. Carne asada, pozole, what's going on here?
Carne asada with fries.
Yeah, it's so stupid. So then then there's Mariner. Oh, you're really a lower decker. I'm like, no, Mariner, I'm a Starfleet officer.
Yeah.
Not a lower decker.
I know. We're all Starfleet officers. God.
Then Brad shows up, and then Mariner's like, as she's seeing like a long lost lover.
Yeah.
Oh God, there he is. That's my friend. That's Brad. It's my friend. Then he walks up. Hey guys. Oh, what happened? What are you doing here? Well, I got transported or cloned, and I guess Rutherford bet Tindy
that was gonna happen
to him. Like,
what the heck?
Then Mariner's like, oh, like you come crawling back. You were just like super happy. You about to literally jump the table and have sex with him.
Yeah.
Then she's being shitty with him. Then she's like, oh, come here, you gotta tell us about all this stuff on the time.
Well, there's no seat here. And then she's like, totally. And that guy's okay. I'll go. I'll let you guys catch up.
And then like, dude, like he just disappeared. He wasn't even there anymore.
No.
And then the guy feels kind of bad. Like I thought we were friends too.
No.
Pull up a chair.
Exactly.
Hey, this is our new guy.
Yeah, how's that feel like? How's that Star Trek in any way?
No,
Especially
because Mariner's a bitch.
Yeah.
A bitchity bitch.
Yep.
She's an insufferable bitch.
Yep.
Then Brad's like kind of talking about it and everything, and then they're like, oh, go get us some shots. But they have synthahol. You don't even get drunk anymore.
Well, in Star Trek, do we even know that?
So they're like, get shots. I meant you go get him, Bollinger. You owe it to us for abandoning us.
Yeah, and it goes in, and then they talk about their missions and what they did.
So he goes to go get some shots because he's just the bar bitch now. Then one guy's like trying to talk to like some girls like, but he says like a parable. And she's like, what the hell?
Mildly funny. He's like, oh, okay, well, I struck out there so that's at midnight, by day mark at midnight or something. Mildly funny.
So the 4 or 5 things that were decent, each one of them was the legs cut out from underneath.
I mean, we're not even talking 2 minutes later. We're talking seconds later. Cut out.
Yeah. So whatever. This show, it's for people who hate Trek and they think it's funny and
they think it's stupid. They think you're stupid for liking it.
So if, like I said, Next Generation is my favorite series. This whole episode was talking about how Next Generation was stupid and dumb and silly. So how am I supposed to take that as like, oh, that's so funny? It's a tear rolls down my face. Like, how am I supposed to feel about this?
No. When we talked about early in this podcast, when Bleeding Cool turned your back on you, that's bad.
Yeah, Bleeding Cool. That left this rag of a freaking.
That's like Salon turning your back on you. That's as far left as you get. That's pretty bad.
And they're like, yeah, this show just needs that.
Because there's no point to it.
Yeah.
It's mindless garbage.
And it just keeps. They said that it feels like a DVD extra where the characters keep breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that one time? Remember this helmet from this one episode?
It's irritating. We're only 2 episodes in. I can imagine because there's some stuff going on now where Brad, it's like wow.
A bunch of nudity and literally giant, literally no joke, like orgies.
Yeah.
Because that's Trek. Oh, then they try to justify it. Like in this one episode, they were wearing workout clothes, and that's the same thing. Remember, when you go to the gym and you see people working out, that's an orgy to these people.
Oh, I know. Or the Terran Empire.
But they didn't even do anything even close to that in the Terran Empire.
No. And that would make more sense there than here. It's ridiculous. And like an episode where it's on this is the Archer's Enterprise, so we're talking before the Federation, when they have to go in the bio decon chamber. Yeah, that's because they were gaining decon. There was nothing sexual about it at all. Nothing.
Yeah, that's the same as Brad going spread eagle with his balls and butthole.
Yeah, I know.
No joke.
Yeah. It's bad, guys. I'm not looking forward to that episode.
Literally his legs are stretched completely out.
Yeah.
Everything's on.
And they're trying to justify it. And then they want to go as far as saying, well, Gene Roddenberry was sexist. What does that have to do with that? Anything with the show. Anything.
So, whatever. If you think that's funny, I don't know what to say to you.
I'm not looking forward to that episode. That's going to be Trek. Ugh.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll try to catch up with these, but we'll try.
We'll try. We're trying, okay?
Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.